Welcome to ABC 123 Trader. This is an introduction video to the ABC 123 Trend Tracker Indicator. I wrote this probably in my initial phases of learning when I started to program my own indicators. And what I wanted to do was, of course, track the trend. So how it works is it's a very straightforward indicator. Usually when you break the previous trend, we want to follow the trend, and this could be our possible stops. It's rated. What you can do is you can rate it by Fibonacci. Is it Fibonacci numbers, if I recall? It's been a while since I looked at it. But as you can see, I have a multiplier. This is a Fibonacci multiplier. So for example, if I put it to a 1.61, for example, I'm using Fibonacci numbers, we'll have, of course, higher stops and higher turnarounds. Now I'm going to put the multiplier back to the original number that I had it at I think it was at you know what, I'll just remove it and add it. I can't remember my number. It's 2 point something. Sorry, brain hiccup here. Okay, so on the trend tracker, the key, one of the keys of using the trend tracker indicator is once you start getting into a trend, make sure you follow it down. But there are going to be areas of second opportunities. So for example, I'll give you a better example on the NQ. Let's do an NQ. There we go. On the NQ, for example, once you start trading in the trend and you're following up, when it comes down to this line, on the very, very, very first attempt, an arrow can point up or point down according to the trend. This is called just kind of like a bounce back, and so you can re-enter again or load up and go for it again. And also there was another opportunity here before failing. And same on the sell side on the NQ. As you can see, it came up, almost touched, and bounced down. What you'll notice is while you're trading with the trend tracker, there are many times, like when you're just getting into a trend, the pullback, you'll see a really good support and resistance. And I strongly advise you not to jump in immediately. Let's say if it's crossing over, we need some confirmation. Because what can happen is while it's watching the candles going live, for example, you're thinking she's breaking down, I'll take this trade. We want to get that confirmation before it breaks. Because if you do that, you're going to take your loss from the previous swing or whatever. But for example, on this trend tracker, let's say 1 in the afternoon, you take this trade from here to here, you made your 67 points. But let's go into a regular market open. And because it's so violent, because we're using 610 tick, let's go to a minute bar here. So on a minute bar, for example, as you can see, market open happens, pops down. Here's our first opportunity, and away we go. Ruler, depending on what, if you even take even a small movement, that was a $200 move, or you're watching it really rocket. Of course, you're not gonna lose over $1,000 on a trade there. So when you're looking at a trade like this, what you want to know is make sure it breaks the trend. Then you can enter the trend or wait for a pullback. And once you get going, here you go for another 94 points, over and over and over again. It was like I said, it was one of my early indicators. It's very effective. And what you want to do is once you get into a trend, the color code, of course, red for downtrend, green for uptrend, and yellow is kind of your original pullbacks. Not farther up on the line, but it's just early enough in the beginning of the crossover. We want to see if there's going to be a deep enough pullback so we don't get stopped out. And let's just take the last thing. Let's take a look at the parameters. What we have in here. What you can do is, if you don't like the regular, you can turn off your bar colors. There's that arrow retrace I was talking about for the very first attempt. And basically your period and your multiplier. It's very, like I said, it's very simple. And but very effective. There's also here on Trend Tracker buying opportunities, selling opportunities on sound alerts. So when you get a crossover, if you want to use it, you can play the sound saying, you know, selling opportunity, buying opportunity, etc., etc. These sound bites are on the ABC123 Trader website. I created a whole bunch of sounds that you can use for your trading. Okay, so if you have any questions, feel free to email me at ABC123Trader, and if you can, try to join our Discord, and so we can exchange ideas. Other than that, you guys have a great day. Just make sure you pinpoint your trades and trade safe.